Do you know what you hear today? I know it's not necessarily heard on a popular level, but if you get out into like religion classes in public universities, for example, you know what you're going to hear? The Christianity of evangelical Christians today is the Christianity of Paul. It's what he wanted Christianity to be. It's not the Christianity of Jesus. It's the gospel that won out. There were all these wars about what was the true Christianity, and Paul's was just the one that won out over the others because he had this great personality and whatever, and then down the road, Constantine, put his stamp of approval on it, and it became the real deal. And so there are people all over who are being told that Christianity, this gospel we believe, it's just Paul's. He made it up a long time after Jesus. Now, that is part of the reason why Luke says, I got to tell you a lot of the Paul story. The full story of Paul's ministry is important for confirming the truth of the gospel he proclaimed. Once you have the full story, it gets a lot harder to discredit him when you know things like Galatians 1 and Galatians 2. Here's another little piece that it connects with in Acts. Do you remember what Gamaliel said in Acts 5 to the Sanhedrin? If this plan or this undertaking is of man, it will fail. But if it is of God, you will not be able to overthrow them. Now put that together. What did we read in Galatians 1? Galatians 1:11. I would have you know, brothers, that the gospel that was preached by me is not man's gospel. And Gamaliel said, if this is from man, it will not succeed. But if it's from God, you'll not be able to overthrow it. And so Luke says, okay, let me tell you the full Paul story. Let me tell you about how he started preaching in Damascus. And you know what they wanted to do? Kill him. What did he do? Escaped out the window. Let me tell you about what happened when he came to Jerusalem. What did they want to do? Kill him. Let me tell you about when he was stoned and drug out of the city and left for dead. He looked so bad and didn't die. Let me tell you about the shipwrecks. Let me tell you about the trials. Let me tell you about the conspiracies. Let me tell you about the times when the Roman government sent entire squadrons of soldiers just to guard him. You've got an entire Roman squadron and Paul in the middle of it. You think God's protecting this guy? And so how does the book of Acts end? Well, number one, Paul got to Rome, which is exactly where he wanted to get to. And number two, the gospel is spreading all through the imperial house, through Caesar's house in Rome. And number three, even though Paul's under house arrest, he's able to talk to anybody he wants to talk to and freely tell anybody he wants to about Jesus. That's how the book of Acts ends. So what do you think Luke's saying? When you know the full story of Paul's ministry, it's really hard to discredit the gospel that he proclaimed. Defending the gospel required telling the full story of Paul.